Queen performs her initial public duty since Philip's death. Her Majesty is among Prince of Wales and goes maskless and doesn't wear a crown or robes at secure state gap of Parliament. Please subscribe our channel for latest updates. Like and share on your website and please press the bell icon below. The Queen dispensed her initial major public ceremonial duty this morning since the death of her husband Duke of Edinburgh a month past. Her stateliness took half in a very scaled-back, socially distanced state gap wherever she proclaimed Prime Minister Boris Johnson's legislative agenda, whereas being supported by her son Prince of Wales. The monarch, 95, didn't wear a mask at the ceremony whereas all alternative participants did, and her stateliness was conjointly while not the £2 imperial state crown or ceremonial robes. Following Philip's death, the consort's throne, that was initially put in 1901 for Queen Alexandra, was aloof from the House of Lords and is currently within the care of the Lord Vice Chamberlain for keeping. The Patrician of Wales has antecedently Saturday on the consort's throne once concomitant the Queen. However, throughout today's ceremony, Charles Saturday with the Lady of Cornwall on chairs of state, placed to the aspect. Charles's presence at her aspect this year, therefore before long when the death of Duke of Edinburgh aged 99 on April 9, are going to be seen as a symptom of things to return at future royal engagements. The Queen wore what royal officers delineate as day dress, a coat and hat, rather than her ceremonial robes or crown, and travelled by automotive from Palace to the Palace of Westminster, instead of by coach. She was among a noblewoman and had earlier been driven from Windsor Castle. The monarch's imperial state crown was, as in recent years, carried one by one and placed on a table within the House of Lords before she gave her keynote address, outlining the government's plans for the year. In the speech, Boris Johnson vowed to turbocharge the virus recovery these days as he undraped a raft of measures for the «blue wall», with moves to spice up jobs, restrain on illicit immigration, and curb woke culture. The Prime Minister warned it's not enough to travel back to pre-pandemic ways, that because the monarch ordered out the package of legislation for ensuing parliamentary session. In a state occasion stripped of most of the standard éclat and ceremony, the Queen in her initial major duty since the death of Duke of Edinburgh aforesaid the country ought to be stronger, healthier and a lot of prosperous than before. The centerpiece of the ceremony, the crown jewels that weigh £2 and 8 ounces, area unit currently too serious for the 95-year-old Queen to wear at what was a pared-down, virus-appropriate event. The Queen has formally opened every new session of Parliament on well-nigh twice throughout her 69-year reign, in 1959 and 1963, once she was pregnant with patrician Andrew and Edward. The decision to work what's referred to as a reduced ceremonial state opening was viewed as a smart choice given the pandemic and restrictions still being in situ. Officials were conjointly keen to not encourage crowds, and therefore the scaled-back ceremony was as a result of the virus-19 crisis, instead of the death of the Duke of Capital. Her stateliness was among the Patrician of Wales and therefore the Lady of Cornwall. Charles has antecedently attended the Queen, as has Camilla. In the House of Lords, one ornate golden throne was placed beneath the gold cover prepared for the Queen. Antecedently there was a try of thrones, for the Queen and her consort. The consort's throne, that was initially put in 1901 for Queen Alexandra, is within the care of the Lord Vice Chamberlain for keeping. The Patrician of Wales has antecedently Saturday on the consort's throne once concomitant the Queen. But throughout today's secure ceremony, Charles at with the Lady of Cornwall on chairs of state, placed to the aspect. The valuable imperial state crown was taken from palace with alternative regalia on its thanks to the Palace of Westminster. It is made from over 3,000 gemstones and weighs 2 pounds and 13 ounces. And was automotivied to the State Gap by car. The Queen didn't wear the Sirius crown, the last time she did therefore was in 2016.
Please subscribe our channel Real Life TV. Press the bell icon below for latest videos. The monarch, World Health Organization, has spent most of imprisonment at Windsor Castle, was last at the palace before her visit to the point of the unknown somebody at Westminster Abbey, and on vacation, before the memorial service in November. The monarchy's official Twitter account announced a short video of the scene outside the palace. The Patrician of Wales and thus the Girl of County received the sovereign's entrance of the Palace of Westminster, movement from carriage house by automotive. The prince, in a very morning suit, wore a black mask edged in white, whereas Camilla, in a very white day dress and hat, matched her mask to her outfit. The Queen left Castle in a very convoy of cars, on her thanks to the State Gap, the 67th of her reign. The monarch was wearing a pale lilac coat with yellow floral embroidery round the collar, and an identical lilac hat, instead of the crown or state robes, for the scaled-back State Gap. Camilla walked behind the Queen and Charles within the easy procession. The scene that greeted the Queen within the Royal Gallery was immensely completely different from previous years. Instead of being stuffed with individuals, the space contained simply 34 sitting guests, 17 peers and 17 MPs positioned so much apart, socially distanced and sporting masks. They were hand-picked for the occasion via a ballot. MPs complied with social distancing measures as they sabbatum 2 meters apart within the Commons chamber sooner than the Queen's speech. Around 50 were sabbatum on the inexperienced benches with additional MPs sabbatum within the facet galleries and public gallery. Prime Minister Boris Johnson sabbatum arms rolled sporting a black mask with a Union flag thereon. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer additionally wore a black mask, together with his deputy Angela Rayner sabbatum to his right. Black Rod arrived and knocked on the door 3 times to request MPs attend the Lords. Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyle Junction rectifier some of MPs in file to the opposite house, as well as Man Johnson, Sir Keir, Home Secretary Priti Patel and SNP Westminster leader Ian Blackford. The bulk of MPs stayed within the Commons. The Queen aforementioned the government's priority is to deliver a national recovery from the pandemic that produces the UK stronger, healthier and additional prosperous than before. When the Queen walked towards the principal throne within the House of Lords chamber, the Patrician of Wales unbroken hold of his mother's hand as she created her manner fastidiously up the low steps. Charles rapped back, then took his seat located at the so much facet. The cream folder containing the Queen's speech had been placed on a table draped in associate in nursing decorated red and gold velvet covering, next to the monarch's throne. In non-virus times, the Lord Chancellor Henry Martyn Robert Buckland would have manual the speech onto the sovereign. Another change for the ceremony these days is that the Lord Chancellor Henry Martyn Robert Buckland won't hand the speech onto the Queen as is sometimes the custom, however place it on a table instead. Other changes embrace no military street liners or lining of the Sovereign's Way and no band nor guard of honour outside the Palace of Westminster or as a part of the procession from Castle. There will be no heralds attending, solely 2 yeomen and gentlemen at arms, only 1 bishop representing the cluster of 26, and solely the Lord Jurist and also the head of the Supreme Court representing the judges. But one ancient tradition which is able to still present itself is that the one involving the House of Lords official, Black Rod. Sarah Clarke, woman usher of the Black Rod, can see the doors to the Commons enclose her face as she arrives to summon MPs. She should strike the door 3 times before it's opened. It's a reply that dates back to the warfare and is claimed to symbolize the Commons' independence from the autarky. Members of the House Area Unit expected to rally around the aged monarch, even additional within the returning months and years following the loss of her husband. Please subscribe and like our channel Real Life TV. Please share it on your website and social media. Press the bell icon below for latest videos.